When Jason Ethier thinks of his childhood, it's not the same as most kids. That's because when he was just a toddler, he and his family got some news that would change his life.
I was diagnosed with T-cell leukemia, which was in the blood cells. I remember none of the treatments, but I remember being in the hospital, my family visiting me. I remember the back pokes pulled the fluid from my spine.
Right.
I remember being held down by lots of people, trying to fight not to get poked. That's all the bad stuff.
For Jason's mom, Sheila, the memories are all too clear.
Yeah, I remember it all very vividly. It's a memory that never goes away. When he was diagnosed in October of '87, and it was only in February of '88, one day I caught myself smiling at home. And I was in shock. I was like, I'm smiling. I can't, my son might die and I'm smiling. I can't give myself permission to cry or to smile. This is serious stuff, like he might not live.
Jason underwent 3 years of intensive chemo and radiation therapy to save his life. But the long-term effects of those treatments last.
One of the problems is memory problem. In high school and school, just struggling with all my courses. And now it's just trying to find a job that lets me work without a degree or anything like that, because I can't do it in school. It'll affect me for the rest of my life, and I have to just deal with it one day at a time.
Jason isn't alone in his fight. 5 years ago, he met Nicole, and in 2010, the two got married.
When I married him, I agreed to, all the problems and, just to work it out. Of course, I didn't think it'd be as hard as it is. Every day there's something new that comes up that we're having issues with. Lately, it's the biggest one for us is fertility. We've been seeing fertility specialists, but not really getting anywhere with that.
Sterility, brought on by chemotherapy, has kept the Ethiers from having kids of their own. But the increased risk of early onset dementia has led many to recommend giving up on adoption as well. Jason has talked with his mom about the possibility of having the same dementia as his grandfather does, only decades earlier.
And Jason said, I'm going to be worse than Grandpa pretty soon. He says, one day I'm going to forget who Nicole is. And just watching my father's, he's 87, and just watching him with his dementia and looking up the side effects of dementia, or the symptoms of dementia, I'm looking and thinking, this is the same symptoms that Jason has already as a brain injury. So if he's already got dementia symptoms because of the radiation, what happens to his brain as it ages?
Just having Nicole around has helped Sheila come to terms with the grim reality.
I text her all the time and tell her, thank you for loving my son. Because there's a lot of stress and a lot of worry, and she just loves him, and he's happy, and I don't want to cry. And we're going to stop now.
Jason's story can be found online at jasonsjourney.ca, along with ways to help those with late effects. He has a simple message for others like him.
For the survivors, just there is hope. There's a lot of tough days ahead, but you'll get through it, and then it'll be worth it in the end.
For Sun News, I'm Dave Lazarino.